In 2001, Joe Narvez's daughter, Laura, approached him with the idea of joining the Air Force. Joe was surprised that she wanted to serve in the military, and initially he was skeptical. But Laura convinced him of the idea, and he became her biggest champion. Laura served in operational intelligence with the Special Operations Command. At times, she embedded with the Army to support intelligence collection in combat zones. During a deployment in 2006, the blast of an IED caused her to suffer a traumatic brain injury, which led to anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress. Her wounds also damaged the nerves that control everyday functions such as blood pressure, heart rate, bladder control, and digestion. Laura pushed through her injuries to remain on active duty, only to suffer a second tragedy. While stationed in South Korea, a fellow service member attacked and raped her. The compounded trauma was simply too much to bear. Laura medically retired and returned to the States, where her father was waiting for her. For 12 years, Joe has provided stability, comfort, and support to Laura, even as she found a husband and started a family. Together, they have pulled through dark times. Laura once suffered an emotional breakdown and entered a psychiatric program for 3 months after traumatic circumstances led to the death of her husband. Joe wasn't able to visit her during that time, and he was left to care for her infant son without her. He struggled to track her progress from the outside and was devastated by the thought that he might never see her again. To this day, Laura suffers bouts of illness from her brain injury. At least 3 or 4 times a year, Joe needs to admit her to the hospital, manage her care, and take in his grandson. Sometimes the incidents turn severe. In one acute attack, Laura temporarily lost her ability to see. In another, she lost her memory of the previous year. She has also developed seizures, which often keep her in bed for days at a time, unable to care for herself. Every time, Joe steps into help. Joe hasn't met many other male caregivers, father caregivers, or caregivers of sexual trauma survivors. He knows he is unique, but he remains undeterred. If you ever ask Joe how he is doing, he'll tell you simply, "I'm a bulldog and will always be by my daughter's side." Joe, you've stood by your veteran. America now stands with you.
What's up, guys? RG here from the Stone Vet, as always, coming to you right here on the Zoom meetings that I've been doing a lot lately due to COVID. We know how this is, man. You know how much this freaking virus has been restricting everybody on doing all kinds of different things, man. But what's great about these Zoom meetings, man, you get to meet people from all walks of life all over the world, you know. So you can be in Pakistan or freaking Germany or Italy with some great, amazing veterans that have served this country with us as well. I'm bringing Laura back on again. Take 2 on Miss Laura here from the United States Air Force. Miss Laura's been doing some pretty amazing things with her walk and what she's been doing as a veteran. Like I always say, we're trying to find a purpose, right? We served, we did our time, we've gotten out. Now we're still trying to figure out what the hell do we do now since we ain't got somebody telling us what to do anymore. Laura here has done a lot. She's been through a lot. She's doing a lot. She's found her purpose, and her purpose is to try to help veterans find their purpose as well. So it's an honor to bring Laura here. She's down in Florida enjoying that wonderful weather. If you're here in Oklahoma like me, well, you know it's getting colder. Fall starting to hit, and it's starting to get a little bit colder where we're at, you know. So I'm bringing Laura on. She's actually, you wouldn't believe this crap, man. She had Hillary Swank. I don't know if you know who Hillary Swank is, but everybody should know who Hillary Swank is. Telling a story about her and her walk and what she's doing. She got to represent the Elizabeth Dole Foundation. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with that foundation, but oh my gosh, it's opened my eyes since I've been talking with Laura here about what is the Elizabeth Dole Foundation and finding out that the people that take care of us as veterans, as service members, that family member that's always taking care of us, making sure that we eat, making sure that we take care of ourselves, that our health is to standard to where it needs to be in order to live in this awful world we live in right now. they help support them. And I was like, wow, I didn't even realize that there's support for people who are supporting us veterans, man. So I got Laura on here. I'm gonna let her talk a little bit about this Elizabeth Dole Foundation. Give us some insight as to exactly what it is they do and what kind of services they help provide our caregivers. Hey, Laura, it's great to have you on the show, man. It's been some time. We've been talking a little bit, but I mean, you've been a busy woman, man. You've been super busy with all kinds of things going on, especially with this Elizabeth Dole Foundation. I know they had a big gala that came up recently. Why don't you tell
We
us a little bit about the
did.
foundation?
So the Elizabeth Dole Foundation was originally started by Senator Dole. She is a caregiver for her husband. Um, and what does that mean? Like, there's different levels of caregiving. Um, you can have somebody who literally just, babysits your kids if you're having a bad migraine. Or you can literally be, homebound, hospice situation, caregiving. I mean, there's so many different ranges nowadays, and especially with PTSD and mental health and invisible wounds. There's a lot of caregivers that honestly don't even really know that they are caregivers, and do it instinctively because that is what our whole community has really become now. So the Elizabeth Dole Foundation was established to bring forefront the issues that caregivers have pre and post 9/11 veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So this, I say this, and it's huge, is because not many people know, but as of October 1st, the sitting fellow class of the Elizabeth Dole Foundation fellows, I believe there's 150 of them, but I'm not sure. Could be wrong on that. Apologize. But they speak. Actually, I think there may be less this year because of COVID. But what they do is they routinely speak to political representatives, and they have a straight channel to the to the Congress and Senate to help change laws right away. For example, the caregiver program that is currently in place that gives a monthly stipend, health insurance,
Mm-hmm.
and education for post 9/11 veterans who need caregivers. It had been identified that there wasn't a program for pre 9/11. So everybody from Desert Storm, Somalia,
All the
so on and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
are needing caregivers, but there was literally no program in state. So the fellows put it in to join with the legal team with the Elizabeth Dole Foundation. October 1st, applications are now open for pre 9/11.
Oh, sweet. So a lot of the caregivers who have been helping the veterans from Desert Storm, Somalia, hell, maybe even Vietnam, because I mean, there's still some people out there that are still
So now,
dealing with
this
that.
is really important to ask your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles.
Right.
They could be homebound. They could be their wives could have already been doing this for a very long time.
Could have been doing this for some time now, taking care of them, because I mean that's what they do. They take care of their spouse,
Mm-hmm.
not aware about these kind of benefits that are out there for them now.
Exactly.
And
so head over to Elizabeth Dole Foundation, check it out. They'll educate you more. There's a lot of programs. They just had of course, because of COVID, they couldn't have a gala, which they usually have every year, and they choose a few military veterans and caregivers to highlight. And this year, it was my father and I.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean with the whole Hillary Swank thing, I saw the video. I was like, oh, look at this. Look at this. I said she famous now. She got Hillary Swank telling her story to everybody, you know, about how amazing her daddy is and how he's been taking care of his daughter like he's supposed to as a father figure, you know. Been taking care of his daughter through the stuff that she's gone through, serving the government, serving for this country, you know. How did that event go? Were you part how because were you there? Were
We
you
weren't part of the event at all,
no?
sadly.
Okay.
Sadly, we didn't even really even know that we were chosen till right before it happened.
Oh wow.
And they're like, yeah, just watch this. So, I mean, I wish we had some kind of a little bit more interaction. I know if hopefully like next year we'll be able to go to the actual gala and meet the people, but as of right this moment, everything is just virtual.
Everything's virtual right now.
Everything's virtual.
Everything's virtual. That's been the
Yeah.
tough part with everything. I mean, a lot of people, even know with nonprofits and stuff like that, like, damn, everything has to be virtual right now. And last time they're hurting, not able to get them fundings coming in like they usually would, you know. But
Sadly.
I brought on the nonprofit architect not too long ago, and listening to his stuff, he has a huge freaking following for nonprofits. Like if you want to start a nonprofit, that guy, you need to go talk to him because he knows the ins and outs of starting nonprofits and establishing them, ensuring that you're getting the funding in order to run the nonprofit. He knows all the ins and outs, and he has all the resources of people who are running nonprofits and living. That's how they make their living. They run their nonprofit. That's their job. That's their that's what they do 9 to 5, just constantly doing that. But they have the funding to come in to be able to support them while they're doing that as well, you know, which is a big part. A lot of people don't understand that. They're like, yeah, it's a nonprofit, but it's helping me live my life. I'm able to put a roof over my head and feed my family and myself, you know. But he was saying, you know, that's one thing that they were talking about was that they've been doing a lot of virtual events and they've been surprised by the funding that they're getting from these virtual events that they're throwing. They said not only are they able to reach out to that city or town where they're doing the event, but now it's going nationwide to worldwide with people who are reaching in and saying, yeah, we can do that same thing here in our area and we can raise money and raise awareness here where we're at now, which I was like, well, yeah, I mean, you're reaching out a lot more people and a lot more people are aware of what you're doing.
Right.
So, I mean, similar with this, I mean, maybe that could have been some, I don't know. I don't know anything, man. I have a lot of resources.
Just keep going.
Things,
keep going. This is only the beginning for you, Raph.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It is, you know.
For both of us.
But it's going where it's going. It's doing what it's doing. I mean, so with this whole Elizabeth Dole Foundation, I mean, I wasn't aware of it at all until you said something about it. I was like, huh, what is all this stuff? What is this? So I mean, so they're able to. So like you said, this is more focused towards the caregivers.
It is, but it's a huge step forward for the entire community because we can actually voice now issues that before we never really had a chance to, whereas we're able to quantify and qualify our veteran issues at a very intimate level when we're talking about talking to the caregivers, not necessarily the actual veterans, because you know,
absolutely,
we're not always going to give up 100% what's going on around us.
No, not at all. Not at all. We're not going to say anything. We're too prideful. We're not going to say nothing.
Exactly.
I keep saying we're too prideful. We're too prideful. We don't ask for help. We don't.
But how much do you think your wife is going to say about you?
Oh, she'd tell you everything. She knows everything, anything and everything about me. She'll let people know this is what's wrong.
And she'd probably know better how to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's true because she'll tell you, she's like, this is what he's dealing with. You need to leave him alone. This is what's wrong right now.
And
more than I could tell you. More than I could tell you. I'd be like, I didn't know that shit. She's like, no, that's why you're acting the way you're acting right now. Fuck, I didn't know that. I wish I guess if I was more aware of it, then I'd be able to, you know, control those.
Well, like I always say, is being self-aware, like knowing and being self-aware is the very first step of healing.
Absolutely, it is.
If you can say like, yeah, maybe, like maybe you see that in yourself, then that's the first step of, you know, if you want to heal, researching what that means. Absolutely. And how to fix yourself.
And it's crazy because I just had James not too long ago. I had James on here. He's an Army veteran and he's actually written a book about how you need to forgive yourself and how you need to look into yourself and how And I was like, wow, I said, I never even thought. And he's like, man, he said, people have been reaching out to me like, dude, I like this chapter. This chapter right here, it spoke to me. This is exactly what I'm dealing with on a regular basis. And I told him, I was like, you keep doing it, dude, because you're bringing awareness. I mean, that's the biggest thing of veterans is awareness. We're not aware. We're stubborn. We get that tunnel vision and we just focus on ourselves and we don't worry about anybody else around us.
But
And
it's our survival method.
it's survival,
It's our
right?
survival
And
method.
it hurts our family members. It hurts our caregivers that are there taking care of us and treat.
And the greatest thing about the Elizabeth Zoll Foundation is that they recognize the fact that our caregivers suffer as well.
Absolutely.
So they take that in consideration, and they help with respite care, which is they will come in and they will have somebody, trustworthy and vetted, clean your house, fill your fridge with food, make dinner, do your laundry. You can actually go so far as to like taking an entire weekend. You can take an entire week. Like there's different programs for different situations and different levels of care. So they understand the importance of if the caregiver isn't okay, then neither is the veteran.
Absolutely.
And that was a huge mistake in the situation with me and my late husband, is that he was my caregiver.
Right.
But he also had issues that he wasn't able to or didn't really want to deal with. We'll never know.
Right. And that's the thing. Yeah, we never want to deal with them.
Exactly. And sadly, it was something that I wish somebody had been there for him and been like, yeah, I would constantly ask him, are you okay, honey? You want to go talk to someone? You want to go out with the guys, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was always like feeling that there was so much that I had been through that he didn't feel like he was justified to say anything, which is
that's us. We do
the
that.
most common things I hear all the time.
We did. We all feel like that. We're all like that. I didn't do enough. Like me. I mean, shit, I went to Iraq twice, but I didn't get blown up. I didn't, there ain't nothing crazy that happened to me. Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, besides the scuds and the mortars flying around. I mean, it's still, you have to look at it and say, no, you went to war. You seen some shit that you probably weren't supposed to see. I mean, I was a support squad. And so we built the largest flight line since Vietnam out of sand. And it was a supplies in, bodies out type mission, what we were doing. And we were bringing out body bags after body bags out of the C-130s that were landing every freaking day.
Which is commonly known as, or not commonly known as, secondary PTSD.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you see them body bags,
which is a less common word that people don't necessarily know. And I think if we did, we would kind of be a little bit more open to accepting it.
Yeah.
The secondary PTSD is not necessarily seeing the initial trauma or the initial death, but is the after effects. So the guys who cleaned everything out of the helicopters and the C-130, the bodies.
No, they still deal with it. And that's what I tell people. I say, you went into the military, you have PTSD. I said, going to boot camp, you got PTSD because of the shit that you had to deal with. I mean, that's the purpose of boot camp, is for them to break you down as a human being, take away who you thought you were as a human,
build you back up,
and build you up to their standards to where they need you to be.
And they don't give us coping skills or a wife or a husband.
Nope. No spouse. No spouse. I had one Marine said, hell, if I was supposed to be married, they would issue me a wife, but I ain't supposed to be married. I said, oh, shit. I said, a lot of people believe that.
Story.
Yeah, a lot of people believe that, a lot of people believe that and stuff. So let's break the commercial break. Let's thank our sponsors, Rafa 180, for allowing us to have on the show.
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180 for being a sponsor. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. I hope you like that commercial about Rafa 180, man. Like I say, every show, if you own a small business, you're trying to get some satellite time to get people out there to know who you are and what you're doing, what kind of services you providing, hit me up. I'll keep a description down below in the description box on how to reach me, how you can email me. man, you can go anyways. I got the veteran group down there. I got my email down there, and fuck, I can't remember what else I got on there. But go on there, message me, leave me a message. We could definitely work some details out about bringing you and making you a sponsor of the Stone Vet, so we can keep this show going, get the cameras running, the microphone, electricity going, just so we can be able to keep the show rolling, so we can provide a reason and a purpose for us brothers and sisters out there. I got Laura with us again. She was talking about the whole Elizabeth Dole Foundation. But hey, did you guys know that she had a book contract signing? She was supposed to be signing a book contract, man. But I guess one thing led to another. And she didn't like the freaking circumstance that was in that fine print, I bet. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this book contract that you threw out the window?
I did, sadly. I mean, I have to be honest. So it was 2 years in the making almost. And it was basically, I wanted so much for an advance, and I wanted so much to go to veterans. And the advance came back fine, but the percentage to go to veterans was not even 10% of what I asked.
Get out of here.
Well, yeah, and it was just, I was so mad. So I've been told a lot. I was like, why don't you just self-publish and then you can own your own rights? Well, they also wanted media rights. And yeah.
Of course they did. Everybody got their hand out. Like, let me have some more. Let me have some more. I want some of that. I want some of that.
So I was like, wait a second. So we haven't even been in discussion. Like, we've been in discussions with some people who believe that it should be made into some type of either film or short series. So there has been interest in it through my agent, but they wanted everything, like all the rights to it. And I have a feel like everybody was like, which means they probably already know it's going to go somewhere and they want it. They
want their piece of it. They want somebody else's work is what they want.
Basically. So I'm in no rush, you know what I mean? And I want to do it right. And I've said no to a lot of opportunities over the years just because they just didn't work out. And so I do have the opportunity to self-publish. It's going to take a little bit longer, but it will happen. Yeah. And I'll be able to give, the cases to the mental health VA hospitals like I want to, without having to worry about, buying them myself, which would have been.
Yeah.
I'll just buy them all. It's fine.
Right.
That's fine. No big
After
deal.
you get this miniseries going, I bet you'll be able to buy whatever you want.
Dude, can you do it we'll see. I'm not the type. So I finally realized that in Intel, we're trained to not be the center of attention, to blend in. So
right?
All of this like the makeup and the eyelashes and all this kind of stuff, it's not me. It makes me feel good about myself, but it's at the same time, it's inherently not me. So I'm just oh boy, how am I gonna get through this? If it ever becomes a short series or a film, like everybody says, I'm gonna end up having a double ganger. Let's talk about that for a second. The 22 push-up a day challenge.
Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck about a 22 push-up a day challenge.
Give me a second. You'll care about this, I promise. So you have been hearing, though, the new change to it.
No, what's the new change to it? Are they going to do slow push-ups now?
No, wise ass. We're going to do something better, finally.
Finally.
And it's something that a bunch of us had been talking about. And some of them have actually been trying it and doing some TikToks, and it might be working.
Yeah.
Let's change up 22 a day push-ups for 22 days. You call a veteran, a friend, or whatever for 22 days, just one.
Absolutely.
You reach out and you say, hey, how are you doing? How are you doing today? That's all.
That's it.
So one text or one communication a day for 22 days.
That'll work, and that is a lot better. That's a lot better. That's one thing I always stress about people. I said, why don't you call 22 vets a day?
Or
Call
text
22
them.
motherfuckers and just text them, see how you doing, And that's what I try to stay. Usually Sundays when I usually reach out to everybody, but I like to reach out to everybody. I got a brother. He had to travel back home. He just drove home last night. He went 12 hours. He left here at noon to drive up to Wisconsin. His grandmother just passed away the other night. And I was like, dude, keep in contact with me. I don't want you driving fucking. I know it's a lot colder up there towards Wisconsin. They got fucking snow and sleet up that way too.
Especially if you're pushing it.
I reached him. He drove for 12 hours. He drove 12 hours straight. I was like, holy shit, dude. And he's by himself. His wife had to work and stuff, so she couldn't go with him. And so I was like, keep me in contact, dude. I said, when you heading back, I do my buddy checks. I said, when you heading back this way, he said, I'll be heading back Monday. I said, all right, I'll check in on you on Monday to make sure you're on your way and you're making it good. Let you know if how the weather's holding up over here, because we got a lot of cold shit coming in. I think they're talking about some sleet and shit coming this way too, coming Monday. And so that's why I told him, I said, you need to keep me in the loop, dude, because that's the biggest thing is that we need to, I talked to James, and it's one of those things. So call me if you need anything. Not bullshit, dude. Call them, reach out and call somebody, because like I said, we're too damn prideful. We're too damn stubborn to say, no, we need help.
But there you go, Raph. I've officially served it to you. You've got 22 days starting tomorrow.
22 days starting tomorrow to reach out to. I've been reaching out to all kinds. I just saw. I was watching.
I know you do, but
I was just watching on Facebook. I guess one of my buddy's wife had surgery. I wasn't unaware of it, but we're not tight like that. But I told him, I said, you're in our prayers, dude. Let me know what's going on, because I didn't even know she was going into surgery or whatever. It's scary. Anytime somebody goes into surgery, it sucks because you're like, especially during COVID right now too, with all that shit. They're not letting anybody in the hospitals, and it's just miserable, with everything going on, the election and everything else. It's just like, what in the hell, But just like you said, reach out and call somebody. Call 22 vets a day. If you know that many, I'm sure you do. If you got a Facebook,
you don't even have to know. You don't even have to know that many. If you put in vet in the search engine and you look in usernames,
yeah,
in any social media,
absolutely.
just
No, there's one guy
even
on
a random
TikTok.
person.
There's one guy on TikTok. He was a young Marine. When I was watching his TikToks and stuff, and I was like, he's another Marine. I said, like, I follow this guy. He actually followed me back. I was like, holy shit, But watching his videos from the beginning to the end, I'm like, yep, that's the Marine Corps for you right there, buddy. He was all motivated. I'm gonna retire as a master gunnery sergeant. And then the videos just start getting lower. He's like, man, he said, I had a bad day today. I had a rough. So I reached out to him and said, hey, brother, you doing okay, man? Because I looked at when he posted a video, and it was only a couple of days ago. I said, hey, dude, how you doing, man? You doing all right? He's like, man, he realized he had an alcohol problem. He realized that he was going to the bottle too often, I was like, you're a fucking Marine, dude. That's what we do. That's how we
A
do.
coping mechanism.
That's
We need to figure out how to get away from it. And once you self-recognize, like I said, it's the beginning of
healing. I told him, I said, I hope you find your fight again, man. Because I know I saw motive. I was the same way, dude. When I was in, I said, I'm retiring as a fucking master gunnery sergeant. I did 9 years and nope, I'm not doing this no more. I'm done, But I was like, I hope you find your fire again. It sucks, man. You deal with so much shit in life, and then you're just like, man, what the hell am I doing still? Like, what I need to find, you got to find another avenue now. You went that way for so long, and it just ain't working out no more. It's like, oh, gotta try to find another path. We got to find another path to get to the finish line, and just dealing with the stupid crap that we deal with every single day. Life's hard. Life's hard. Do we make mistakes? You damn right we make mistakes. We're human beings. We're going to make mistakes.
But it's worth it.
It is. It's absolutely worth it, especially if you acknowledge it and you know what you're doing, and just being able to go out and just, I'm a fuck up. I fucked up. I'll admit it. I fucked up. But you have to admit to it. You have to admit to it. You have to know you fucked up. You didn't know you fucked up. You better go back and relook at what you did then. You know what I'm saying? And that's the hardest part, man. So since your book deal didn't go through, what are the goals now? What has your agent been telling you? What kind of?
I don't have an agent. I am free. I'm independent. I am by myself. Mm-hmm. I can do and say whatever I want, where I want, what I want to do.
Look at that. Now you got it. Now you're like, shit. Now I got to figure this out, right?
I know. It's like, oh wait, oops. I make a mistake. No.
Maybe you can find a vet out there that is an agent that's got into that industry. Maybe, I don't know.
If anybody, I would love to employ either a social media veteran or I've been with 2 different PR companies, but they kept on wanting to sell me as a victim.
I ain't a fucking victim, dude. I ain't a fucking victim.
So I might have been through a couple of things. I get that.
Right. No, I'm not a victim.
But I'm not a victim.
Right. Absolutely. You got to figure out what to do. Like, what's the next avenue now? What's the next move for you? I mean, with everything.
It'll be the book, but then the biggest thing, my end all dream all thing right now is 100 acres in the Blue Ridge Mountains to make a vet retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically all I'm gonna say right now.
Absolutely. No, you got to do that, but you have a lot of resources. You know a lot of people, you know a lot of big names, and that can help probably give you proper resources and guidance as to achieve that dream, you know. And that's the biggest thing. That's what I try to stress to people on the Stone Vet. That's the biggest thing, is that use the resources that are out there. There's tons of resources out there. Make yourself friendly. It's hard to say, but make yourself friendly and sufficient for other people around you, you know, because those people know something that you don't know. You don't know everything. No matter how hard you try, you don't know everything. Appreciate you. You got anything else to tell us? You got anything else to say about where it's going, where life's taking you and everything else? Everything's a secret right now. Look at that. Everything is a secret.
Nope.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I appreciate you taking time to be with us tonight, enjoying this time. Like I said, man, don't be too prideful, man. Reach out to somebody. I keep all my information down below in that description box where you can reach me at. If Miss Laura will give me some information, I'll put her information down there too. You can reach out to her and find out exactly where to reach her at. Mm-hmm. But remember, man, quit being prideful. Quit being stubborn. We hurt. We hurt every day. Let people know you're hurting, man. That's why we're here. We got to take care of our own, because ain't nobody else going to take care of us the way we take care of our own. Remember, here at the Stone Vet, we got your 6.
Relax and feel the vibe. I think about what I'm going through. I wouldn't be nothing without my guy. Gotta keep my eyes on the prize. I struggle and strive to survive. I'm just trying to make it. Gotta stay strong because these times so hard. And if you don't stay loyal right now, I'm chilling with my squad. You see me protecting myself with this gap. You know it's hard to stay alive. Been taking for me for so long, but now I'm back to claim.